Hello and welcome to Eyewitness Report on Channels Television. I am Yomi Otaigbe. Sad pictures of communal attacks witnessed recently across the country draw our attention to the victims of this crisis, how they are coping with their losses, and the efforts of relevant authorities to put an end to these incidents. And we have good news from Cross River and Ebonyi states as two warring border communities decide to sheath their swords and embrace dialogue towards ending an age-long dispute. Details of this and more shortly. In the aftermath of attacks on border communities in Ado local government area of Benue State, pictures of victims receiving treatment in hospitals reached our Eyewitness platform. Here's a follow-up on that.
The journey from Akodi, the Benue State capital, to Izi community in Ado local government area is about 200 kilometers. With a rough terrain, it took the Benue State Deputy Governor's convoy over 3 hours to arrive in the community. Izi community, which sits on the Benue end of the boundary with Ebonyi State, is predominantly inhabited by Igbo-speaking people who have been living in Benue State for long. Hundreds of displaced residents are already taking refuge at Ijigba Primary School in the wake of herdsmen attacks on the community. The Deputy Governor of Benue State leads other officials to sympathize with the survivors and to pay condolences to relations of victims. Recounting how the suspected herdsmen stormed Izi community, an eyewitness, Clement Obu, says 51 people were killed on a spot.
The Fulani men came, and they just came when the day break in the morning. They started the attack from the market square of Ndobasi. A place called Ndobasi is a poly unit of Ekele. They started shooting guns, killing people just like that. No information, nothing. They people came fully wear arms and started shooting anybody they see. Burning houses, burning market, anywhere. As they're going, they continue killing. As they continue going, they continue killing like that. There are a lot of people who are scattered and everywhere. They are the people that do not have home right now. Like the women, there are about 95 women here right now as I'm talking to you. And the children, the men, they are about 30, 35, 36 also. Then the children, they are about 70 something that are here. We have more than about 200 and something people who have run without home right now.
In the course of the engagement with the people, the district head of Aguila identifies disunity between Izi and Eza communities as a major factor fueling insecurity in the area.
We don't know what will happen to Ekile and Ijiban because the Izi people are saying whether the Ekile or the Ijiban community, or in fact Ijiban as a whole, are privy to what actually took place. They were not part of it. So if they are having any plans in their mind, it's an indication of the fact that they are not here today to attend to His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Benue State. And up to date, the people are claiming that they are not part of Benue State. We also brought a flag to you that was hosted by the Ebonyi people. What do they call it? IPOB or Biafran people. They hosted the flag there. We brought it to your office. Your Excellency, I personally presented it to you with the chairman of our local government. You saw it.
Concerned by the attacks, the man representing the area in the House of Representatives laments the failure of federal agencies to implement several security-related decisions that would have helped to check the situation.
I want to say that the killing of the Izi people, who have been our brothers, our in-laws, our friends, is highly barbaric. It's completely not tolerable. It is completely something that we must all work together
to fish out all the criminals that have carried out this act. I am more concerned about that because if I get to Abuja now and I move all the motions on the floor, I speak all the English on the floor, you pass all the resolutions, the agencies of federal government would hardly implement our motions and our resolutions. And therefore, we are really in a situation where we must protect ourselves. And then we have a leadership at the state that has actually come out to give us the enablement.
The Benue State government appeals for committed federal intervention.
We were made to understand that the initial figure stood at about 60 people slaughtered by Fulani herdsmen. But now, as I came here, they've even discovered more corpses. Some people are even mentioning a staggering figure of 100. As I said before, these wanton killings are completely unacceptable and intolerable. We have arrived at a situation whereby the leaders, particularly Fulani leaders, would have to speak out and ask them to stop this carnage. And so we are here today appealing to all the relevant organs of government, and particularly the presidency and leaders of Fulanis, to speak up and ask them to stop this carnage.
Just as the Deputy Governor of Benue State reaches out to affected communities in his domain, the Ebonyi State Governor, Dave Umahi, does the same. His attention is drawn to the accident and emergency block of the Alex Ekweme Federal Medical Center in Abakaliki, where a large number of victims of the attacks are admitted for treatment. A total of 55 indigents, mostly women and children, from 7 affected communities with varying degrees of injuries were brought in after the attack. 2 deaths were reported. The governor moves from ward to ward to check on them and offer words of consolation.
These are the kids that have the various degrees of cut.
Bearing the pains from the injuries, some of those affected by the attacks explain their experiences.
It's like, this is a magic something. I don't know how you to explain the thing. As I'm sleeping around something 4 5, I hear somebody calling me, say, Moshi, stand up, stand up. See, outside people don't come here, and don't shoot people. I say, what's up? Now the one comes, say, I should ask, what are they ask? So she come out there, she come out. I open my door like this, I see cutlass and gun and ask everything. See where they don't pull fire from my house everywhere. I didn't get any ideas to explain.
Governor Dave Umahi is shocked by the number of victims and injuries sustained and announced cash donation for their welfare.
We have directed the CMD, who is doing quite a lot, to do everything to stabilize each and every one of them and treat them. They must not go home in a hurry. We take care of them. We provide shelters when they're out of hospital until we're sure that we have set up a proper security to protect their lives. We will be depositing, to this committee the sum of 5 million for immediate medical care, for clothing, and for their feeding.
Beyond the attacks, the governor appears unhappy about security in border communities.
This did not happen in the shores of Ebonyi. It did not happen within the buffer zone. It is a clear case of our people that have been living in Benue State over 100 years ago. If they want to belong to Ebonyi, let Benue people allow them so that we can, get that place and protect their lives. They will fail to protect them and still pretend the place is Benue State. So I challenge them to make a pronouncement that that place is Ebonyi State and find out whether any header has the ability and capability to attack them again. What we are going to do, since nobody is taking care of these ones, and we don't want them to complain, is that we are going to form a bubago in these communities, that are Ebonyi people, but they are residents of Benue State that are paying their taxes there. Because we cannot rightly ask the security agencies from Ebonyi State to go over to Benue State to go and they protect the lives of the people of Benue State. They will not obey us. And so we have to use the indigents that are there to form their own kind of a bubago to protect the people. And we are going to send our youths to that place to protect, the people over there. It doesn't matter who owns them. The important thing is that these people are human beings. I've said it and I made it very clear. Anybody with AK-47, it doesn't matter whom you are, you come to Ebonyi State, you must be fought to a standstill. Whether it's sticks, whether it's sand, whether it's fire, anything we see, we do to you. Enough of this madness. It is sheer madness. This kind of wickedness can bring a curse upon a nation. It's not acceptable. Benue people must stop complaining and form their own kind of vigilante. When madness meets madness, there is a balance of terror and sanity will return. We can't fold our hands and be slaughtered as such. We've been getting threat messages from headers that are coming to kill us. I wish them luck. We are prepared anytime, any day. This life only but once. Enough of this madness. So I'm directing my commissioner for security and the chairman of Ebonyi local government to immediately interface with all the Izi people in Benue State to form their vigilante and protect themselves.
At the time of this report, most of the patients were still receiving treatment. In all, 9 communities fell to the latest attacks carried out by suspected herdsmen in the boundary area of Benue and Ebonyi states. In spite of these onslaughts, governments of both states say they are not discouraged in their efforts to hunt down the perpetrators and ensure that the lives and property of residents are protected.